guys, we're super excited to be back for another episode. And Cynthia and I had something that we wanted to share with you guys that we've been kind of secretly celebrating. And that's that we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Woo!
Yay! We were so excited.
Super excited.
Yeah, and so I just want to, share what had happened when I went to a wedding with some really good friends of mine that I've known for over 25 years. And two of my friends brought up the fact that they are super enjoying our podcast and they listen every Wednesday,
Aww.
either on their way to work or on their way home. And it meant so much to me.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, and there was another couple at our table, and so they were asking about the podcast. And so I happen to have business cards. I carry them with me wherever we go. So does Cynthia. And so I passed out some business cards, and my friends' husbands were there, and they're like, I only just catch the podcast when, my wife is watching it, which is my friend. And so they're like, I'm not a subscriber. And I go, you guys, we're at 98 subscribers. We've been trying to hit 100. And so the husbands handed me their phone. They're like, just subscribe for me. I'll start watching it on my own. So anyways, at the wedding, we hit 100 subscribers. And I was so excited. So anyways, the next morning I jumped on and we were 101. Now we're at 102 subscribers. So we just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for sticking with us. And we know you're probably sharing our podcast with your friends because we're growing and we're trying to do our own growing through social media posts and stuff like that.
Definitely we're growing.
Yeah.
Trying to learn and grow.
Because we didn't know a lot about social media and posts and algorithm and all that stuff. So we've got some other little tricks up our sleeve with little marketing things we're going to do and advertising and stuff. But so thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We appreciate all of you.
We do.
So Cynthia and I took a little bit of a break, and we wanted to do some summer vacations.
Yeah.
So you already know that I had planned to go to Vegas even after her and I got back, and then she actually got to go to Vegas again.
I did. After my Hawaii, though.
Exactly,
Yes.
after Hawaii. So we just thought we would just share you guys, with you guys what happened on our trips. And so this time I went with an old friend of mine who was my first roommate, and we were there for 3 nights. It seemed like we were there for a week because we did so much stuff. But the funny thing that happened right as soon as we got to the airport was I was telling her about how you and I got to go to the Amex Lounge when we were flying to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And I've never had an American Express. I mean, I've had Visa, Discover, MasterCard, just like everybody else, but I've never had an American Express card.
And I will say, me either. That's actually my husband had it.
Oh,
He's the one who got it. Yeah, so I hadn't either. That's my very first one, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and it makes me want to get one now.
Oh.
Because I was telling my friend while we were at the airport that Cynthia and I had come just a couple weeks ago, and we got to go to the lounge because she has an American Express card. And my friend was like, I have an American Express card.
Yeah.
And she's had it for like 20 years.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, I'm sure we can get in the lounge. So she goes, well, here, you try. So we walk in, and it was the same lounge you and I were at.
Of course.
And the gentleman there said, let me see your card. I go, it's her card. And I handed it. He goes, welcome. Come on in.
Nice.
And we were so excited. And so my friend didn't know really what to do, but now that's the second time I've been to the lounge. And so I felt like...
You got to show her the ropes.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, first Cynthia showed me all the ropes, and now I get to show my friend all the ropes. And she was actually flabbergasted like I was. They have oatmeal and eggs and sausage and like a ton of juices,
And I
coffee.
like all the coffee and, and then a bar.
Yes.
You want a drink.
Yes. Okay, so our flight was so early. Steve dropped us off at the airport at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, my God.
So the bar doesn't open until 6 a.m., which is so funny because she's my drinking friend.
Yeah.
So we just had to drink soda and coffee and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was great. And they had hard-boiled eggs, and she loves hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
So we loaded up, and it was great. It lasted us until we had dinner later.
And she never knew that she could use that.
No.
Wow. As much as she flies.
Yes. I know.
She's probably going to find out a lot about lounges.
Yeah, because I'm like, now when you go to
a lot.
every airport, just ask if there's an American Express
go
lounge.
online.
Totally.
And
she could go online. Interesting.
Yeah, because there are different places. Cause
Yes.
the one in Las Vegas, you have to take it's like an underground tram
Oh.
And you have to go like to a whole other part of the airport together.
Oh.
So you really have to have time. So me and John would go actually on purpose early when we left Las Vegas. Right?
Oh, I see.
And we would go, like, say, an hour and a half earlier than the hour and a half, right? Add on another hour and a half.
Yeah, another.
Yeah. And then, because we knew when she checked your bags in and all that, you had to take this tram thing, and it takes you through this tunnel. It's kind of cool. It's like a subway almost.
Yeah.
And it takes you all the way to this D part of the
like a
airport.
terminal, like another terminal.
Whole different terminal.
Wow.
And you go into this other one, and it's really nice.
In Vegas, it's even nicer.
Double the size.
Really?
Double better.
Wow.
Yes. If you think that was nice, Vegas.
And I'm pretty easy to please.
Really nice. I was impressed. Like, wow, this is really cool.
I should have asked you about that because we could have did that when we were flying out because we were actually killing time because we did what we do is just fly out super late in the day. So you feel like you got a whole nother day.
Right.
Because we didn't even land. I think it was maybe 10 o'clock at night when Steve picked us up from the airport.
Oh, when we went.
No, when
when you and your friend went. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You went like early in the morning and then late at night.
Yeah, super late.
Trying to, maximize the time.
Yeah. But we could have taken advantage of it in Vegas.
Yes.
I didn't even think about
it. But that's awesome. At least you got to try.
Yeah.
Or you got to go in.
Again. Now she knows. Yeah. So that was really cool. But we didn't see any shows. Like we were hoping that we could do pool parties. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is the hotel that she always loves to stay at is the Flamingo. Mm-hmm. And it's because they have the best pool. And I don't know because I didn't get to see it because it was under construction. And it wasn't opening until 2 weeks after we got back.
Oh,
so all the pool parties that we were planning on doing every single day, like we were afraid we were going to run out of swimsuits. And I brought like 3 bathing suits. I brought like 5 cover-ups because I didn't know which one I was going to want to wear. And we gear up, we put on our suits, we get our coffee, and we go to the pool and it's closed for remodeling.
And there's no other pool?
Well, there was, but it's like a family pool.
It's not the party pool.
No. And they have DJs and music and like girls passing out shots and, I mean, cocktail waitresses, like the whole 9 yards. And like,
I can't believe that.
I know.
That you didn't know or you
I know. And that's literally, so it's like when you and I go, we're like shopping and we're eating out, we're going to shows.
Vacation.
Yeah.
I always say that when you go with somebody else, you can go like back to back.
Yes.
When you go with different people, it's a whole different vacation.
Totally.
I agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
And I was like, after you and I went and we had seen shows, we went out to eat, we did shopping. I was ready to go back only
party.
3 weeks later. And like, go to a pool party every day. Go out to Old Reds. So what we ended up doing was we ended up finding out because she is a rewards member at the Flamingo. She actually could get free tickets for us to go to Dre's, which is that.
Oh, the one by Giada's, the Cromwell.
Exactly.
Okay, where that's the Giada's restaurant is at.
Yes.
Okay, and that's
totally.
the nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a nightclub during the evening, but during the day it's called the day club, and it's a pool party, and they had a DJ out there.
Well, there you go.
So it was great, and honestly, the Cromwell was so close to Flamingo. So we could just
down the street.
walk right down the street. Yeah. So the only bummer is so that was Mother's Day. When we were at Dre's at the pool party.
Okay, yes, that's the day I flew out to Hawaii.
Right?
Yes, Mother's Day, yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny because we were thinking it's Mother's Day. There's going to be a bunch of moms who are empty nesters, and they're going to want to go party because they're not celebrating Mother's Day with their children.
Right.
No, it was actually pretty quiet.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of nice because there wasn't a lot of splashing going on. But I tell you what, that was one of the windiest days in Vegas ever.
Vegas can get so windy.
Totally.
And it's way worse than the wind here.
Yes.
It is. And when you're out open like that.
Yeah, and we were on the rooftop.
I was just going to say, the Dre's Club, I know, it's on the rooftop. I see it. And it's like, I can only imagine, like, the umbrellas probably blowing over. And all that kind of, they had to close them all.
Yeah, they closed them all. And they're so particular, too, about, and here's the thing, too. It wasn't even packed. They weren't sold out. Like, they have a ton of cabanas, a ton of couches.
Nice.
everything you have to rent.
Yeah.
The only place that you can sit for free is on the edge of the pool. So
not even a lounge chair?
Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Everything was reserved.
Wow.
And there was, like I said, it wasn't even full.
Yeah.
So there was some cabanas being used by like bridal showers or, bachelorette parties and stuff like that. But there was a ton that were vacant and they wouldn't even let you sit on them if you didn't pay for them.
If you didn't pay for them.
But it was fine because it was like 100 degrees. And even though it was windy, it was still so hot. So sitting with our feet in the water.
Yeah,
and it was like, it was a really low retaining wall that was on the pool. So we were kind of like, it was kind of raised up a little bit, but our feet were dangling. It was beautiful though. The music was great. It was so nice to be outside. But after about 3 or 4 hours, we were like, we're kind of done with the wind. Like we're over this. Like peeling our hair out of our lipstick, and she had lip gloss and her hair was down, so she ended up having to put it up. And so, anyways, but it was fun. I never really experienced a pool party. We did try to go to one in Nashville, and honestly, it was so packed by the time we got down there at like 11:30.
See, that's not fun either, though.
No.
When it's so packed, it's literally, you can't hardly get water.
No,
right?
Because
there's just people everywhere.
There was no room. I mean, I got all suited up and went down there, and my friend was still, getting ready when we were in Nashville. Same friend. And, by the time she got down there was nothing. And I tried to, hawk a spot.
Yeah,
we ended up just leaving, and I was like, shoot, I didn't get to experience a pool party in Nashville,
Yeah.
So anyways, but we still had a great time.
Good.
But I have to tell you, the funniest thing that happened when we were getting ready to fly home. Okay, so the Uber drops us off at the check-in on the sidewalk instead of doing it on the inside, taking your luggage and getting your tickets and everything. Yeah.
Okay, at the airport.
So we take our luggage, we wait in line, and it's our turn. So we go up, and there's 2 guys that are checking in your bags and weighing them and everything. So she went to one, and I went to the other. And they ask you all those questions, do you have any liquids? Do you have any batteries? Do you have any of these things? And so I guess he had asked her questions while my guy was asking me mine. Then all of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere, and he says, ma'am, do you have a vibrator in your luggage? And I'm like, did you say vibrator?
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, yes. Like, total.
Oh, and he's like a security guy or whatever. Okay.
Total straight face. And, my heart starts racing because I feel like I'm in trouble. And I did not have any in my suitcase.
Yeah.
But he was so,
Like, serious?
Yeah, very authoritative.
Oh, man.
And I was like, no, I don't. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit funny because he seemed so serious. It was making me kind of awkward, Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't. But I wish I did. And he started laughing, and he goes, well, I was teasing anyways. He's all your friend over there set me up to ask you the question.
Oh, my
And I was like, are you kidding me? And she's like, I did that. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean,
That's awesome.
At the airport, everyone is like so stiff and so
staunch.
Yeah, professional and
they're
they're afraid of terrorists and all this other stuff. So, for him to come over and be so straight-faced and adamant.
But what a great comeback you had.
I know, because I thought I always try to soften awkwardness by being either really nice or funny.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. Let's break the ice with something funny.
I love
and there was a couple behind us, and they were dying.
Oh, I bet.
She goes, when you said, but I wished I did. She goes, my husband was turning beet red. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just was trying to break the awkwardness here. Anyways, so we laughed about that all the way to the bar where we had lunch. But I was like, thank you for doing that because that was so funny. I was like, what a great way to finish up our vacation.
Yeah. Well, so what else did you guys do? I mean, did you go? Did you get to go to Old Reds?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we did. So,
okay.
So you and I had checked it out when we went.
Right.
It was a totally different vibe because we went on.
Oh yeah, and we kind of didn't know what we were doing and where to go and all that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice that we had done that for you, so that you knew where to go.
Yes.
You know, and you knew you couldn't go to the bottom floor unless you're eating, you know, and get a table and all that stuff.
Yes,
so,
totally. So our first night there was Saturday. So we knew that it would probably be the best night to go to Old Red's.
Okay,
so we planned to do that. And then we were like, okay, so then Sunday's Mother's Day, we'll do the pool party.
The pool party.
And then we had Monday and we flew out on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And so Monday we spent the whole day at the mall and just shopped and looked around and ate lunch and just whatever.
Yeah.
But Old Red's was so fun on a Saturday night. It was like packed. And like how you and I are, we love to socialize. And so we were just talking to so many different people from so many different countries.
Did you go downstairs? Were you downstairs?
Well, we went downstairs and checked it out, but we ended up on the top floor.
On the top floor? At the bar.
They had, so the bottom floor had a DJ. No, I'm so sorry. A live band.
Yeah.
It was a live country band.
Yes.
And then up top on the third floor, they had a DJ. Yeah. So we kept kind of switching between the two, and we met these guys. There was like 10 of them. They were from Luxembourg, and they had
Luxembourg.
best British accent.
Luxembourg, what? What's
the
country?
I actually had asked them about that, but it was so loud when you're in a bar, and there's music playing, and you're
screaming, trying to understand each other, right?
Yes. So Luxembourg is not in England, actually. It's in a different country.
Yeah.
It's like considered like Western Europe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It's separated by the English Channel.
Oh.
But they still have the British accent.
Okay.
And
it's their own little place then?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember because I know most of my countries from the Olympics.
Oh.
And I'm trying to remember if there was like a Luxembourg, you know, that had their own flag.
Yeah.
So, okay, interesting.
Yeah,
not very often do you meet somebody from Luxembourg.
Exactly. No, it was so cute. And one of the guys had brought his son. He was like 24. It was just so cute to see a dad and a son like partying together. And like I said, there was like 10 of them. They were just the nicest guys. And at one point, we were on the third floor, and I had to use the ladies' room. Well, I didn't want to bother my friend because she was in a conversation. So I didn't want to tell her I was going to use the ladies' room. I figured I'd just go to the ladies' room on the third floor and then I would be right back.
Yeah.
Well, I go over to this gentleman that's standing by the elevator and I said, "Where's the ladies' room?" And he said, "Actually, the ladies' room's on the first floor."
Oh, goodness.
I should have went back and told my friend that I was going to the first floor. But what ended up happening was I went to the first floor and the band was playing one of my favorite songs on the first floor. So I never made my way back up to the third floor. I just got distracted and I'd had a couple White Claws, so I was just kind of like living in the moment. So the next thing I know, like these 10 people that we had been talking to on the third floor and my friend are now looking all over
for you.
The whole Old Red's for me.
Oh my gosh.
Because there's 3 floors. So anyways, when she found me, she like grabbed me and hugged me and she's like, "I was so worried." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I had to use the ladies' room." And I went down to the first floor and then there was a good song and then I got stuck on the dance floor. So anyhow, but it was so much fun. We had the best time. I do want to mention, because you and I, as far as I know, we've never been there. It is in the Venetian. It's called the Grand Lux Cafe.
Oh, yeah, I've been.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Okay.
It's funny because I went to Las Vegas too after she did last month, and when we were walking in the Venetian, because we had actually gone to Bouchon's for brunch.
Oh,
because that's one of our favorite places.
Yes.
I was showing our friends Mike and Deb the Grand Lux Cafe because we were telling them how there's hardly any 24-hour cafes anymore in Vegas, which there used to be everywhere. Right?
I wouldn't even think that would be an issue because it's the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, well, they go to sleep in the cafes.
The cafe workers are tired.
I was showing them when we were in the Venetian. I said, that's another good cafe to go to because I've been to that one in the Venetian. And actually, when my sister and I went to Dallas, they had one right across the street at the mall.
Oh.
And we went there twice. Because we love it so much.
Yes.
Because they have such, like, good food, and they have desserts, and, you know, you walk in, it's kind of one of those places, they have all these desserts up front, you know, and all that stuff. So that's funny, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And actually, once I looked around, I was like, this place reminds me of something. And my friend said it's owned by, owned by Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
And so I was like, yes, the lighting fixtures and the paintings on the wall. And the cool thing is they were having a happy hour. So on Monday night, after we had spent the day out and about and like looking around and stuff, we ended up there. And so, because it's really expensive to eat in Vegas.
It is.
And I didn't really want to drink because we had been drinking the days before. And I was like, I just want to load up on some food.
You didn't want milkshakes and french fries?
No.
Like we did.
Like you and I did, no. And actually, we actually did really good. Like, I was trying to be cost effective, but I was also trying to, like, not eat too
Be
badly.
calorie effective, too. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and the bartender was so nice. And so I told him, I have an allergy to garlic and onions. And the chef totally made me from scratch.
Nice.
The best lettuce wraps, chicken lettuce wraps I've ever had.
Yeah.
And seriously, my friend wasn't really interested in sharing that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make that my meal because I never get to order chicken lettuce wraps because most places won't make it from scratch.
Right.
So I ate a couple chicken tenders and she ate the rest and then ordered something else for herself. But I just want to give a shout out. They were so nice and so accommodating to my allergy.
Yeah.
And I totally want to go back. And everything was so reasonably priced because it was happy hour.
And it's a cafe too, because even when it's not happy hour, it's doable, you
Yes.
know, and the food is really good. So it's a lot like a Cheesecake Factory.
Totally.
Where you get a lot of food.
Yes.
And it's yummy and good dessert. They have way more desserts than just cheesecakes too. They got all kinds of stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
no, that is
but
one
the
of our
funny thing
fun
was,
places.
I didn't even know it was a cafe. When I got home and I was trying to Google it just so I could make notes so we can like update everybody on the podcast.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Grand Lux. I didn't know it was a cafe.
Grand Lux Cafe.
Because when you walk up to it, it is a massive bar and just scattered tables. Just a few scattered tables.
And it has booths too, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Maybe I didn't notice
You
that.
might have not gone further back.
Yeah.
'Cause there's like tucked booths.
Oh,
and
you
everything.
know what? Yes, because when I use the ladies' room there, there's a whole nother section.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to go down a little
walkway
way.
or something.
Yes, totally. Yeah, because it just felt like a bar. I felt like I was
Oh,
bellying up to a bar and ordering appetizers.
Oh,
it
that's
didn't
funny.
feel like a cafe.
Yeah.
So I thought it would have been like the Grand Lux bar.
Oh,
So then when I realized it was a cafe, I was like, oh, I didn't even know.
Huh.
But you're right. I saw this whole other thing over there. Honestly, I didn't know until we were just talking that was part of the restaurant.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
totally was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
a good place. That is.
Yeah. Oh, I
I
loved
love it too. Yeah.
So what did you guys do when you were in Vegas?
Oh, in Vegas? Yeah, it's weird because I did Hawaii first and then I did Vegas, but I'll skip over to Vegas. We went for 3 nights and same as Marilyn and her friend. But it was me and my husband this time. And our friends, Mike and Deb, were meeting us there, but they were only going to stay for 2 nights.
Okay.
And the main, I think, attraction that we thought about doing with them was they have not been to Vegas in 20 years. Or over 20 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And so the last time they were there, their Venetian was there, and I think that's where they stayed. So they were really curious to see what had been built and what had been changed since 20 years. Well, they, as a lot of people I find out, have never even seen the city center. Or even know about it, right? The Aria, the Cosmo. She never even heard of it. She never know anything about the Cosmopolitan.
Really?
And I'm like, oh my God, it's my favorite hotel. And so I was telling them and showing them that, and we both stayed at the Vidora, which is in the city center. We got the executive corner suite room again, which we love it because.
Did you guys share?
No.
Or did you have your own room?
No. We got our own rooms.
I thought that would have been cute having the couples together.
Oh, nah.
I like a slumber party.
I do, but I don't think we know them that well.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so we had that, and then they had a regular room. I think they were on the 19th floor and we were on the 23rd floor.
Oh, I gotcha.
So really the 2 days they were there, so me and my husband the first day, he had already made reservations at places to go eat, and so we went and ate like at Gordon Ramsay's pub in Caesars. So that was our first night there, and he did like their fish and chips. He loves their fish and chips.
Yes.
And I did like their well, it would be terrible for you, but it's a French onion soup.
Yeah, just
But,
shoot me.
yeah, I know, right? Or just kill me. I'd like put me in the backseat of a car and just shoot me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so we just kind of, walked all around, goofed around and stuff like that. And then they flew in the next morning. So the morning they flew in, we had reservations at, I think it was noon. No, it was 1 o'clock. We went over to Gordon Ramsay's Burger, which was across the street over at Paris. And so our friend Deb is from England. So that was one of the reasons she wanted to see some of the Gordon Ramsay places, because she's from England. And he's got restaurants all over the place now in Vegas. I mean, literally everywhere. Every hotel you go, there's a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, right? So anyway, so we went to Burger, and oh my God. So my husband and our friend Mike got the fish sandwich, because, the English are really big, even though the place is called Burger, into fish and chips, right?
Oh, I gotcha.
Oh my gosh. If you
it was like a burger, but it had like a fish fillet breaded.
It was like this big, and I have pictures. I am going to post some pictures for you guys. Gosh. This sandwich was like this big on a grilled, like a French roll. The piece of fish was like this big coming out, and then they kept calling them crisps. So we thought they were potato chips, because I know the English called crisp potato chips.
Oh, yeah.
Or sometimes the French fries they'll call crisps, but they were like shoestring potatoes.
Oh.
And all over this fish sandwich.
That sounds
And my husband he ate it all, but he almost couldn't even finish it. It was so huge.
Really? Did Mike finish?
I think he ate half.
I got you.
Mike and Jeb split.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You know me, I'm a burger girl.
Yeah.
So I had
and you don't like fish.
Big, and I don't like fish. So I ate almost my whole burger.
Did you really?
That was good.
Wow.
Yeah, they have some really good hamburgers. Anyway, so our goal for that trip was more, like I said, going with different people is such a different vacation.
Totally.
And they're all fun, right?
Yeah.
It's not like one's funner than the other, But we mostly did a lot of walking. My husband and Mike both like smoking their cigars. So they just had so much fun in the bars doing their cigars and their scotch drinking at night.
That.
And a lot of times me and Deb would sit in there with them, or we would, go shopping, or anyway, we just had a great time. I mean, we just showed them the sights, and since they hadn't been there so long, they never saw the Miracle Mall. I mean,
I just can't even imagine what was not there 20 years ago, because
that whole section that we were at was not even there.
That is crazy.
That was a dirt pad.
Because even when I didn't go for like 4 years, it was so different.
The amazingness
so
of it.
So the 20-year gap, they must have been amazed.
They had never seen the other part of the Wynn, the Encore.
Oh.
They had not seen, so they had seen the Venetian, but they had never seen the Palazzo.
Oh, right.
They had never seen Resorts World down there.
Gosh.
I mean, there was so much they had never seen.
Wow.
So it's really fun for us to be like
your
little tour guides.
Yes. And then you get to see them get all excited and amazed by everything.
And they were super happy with all the choices that John made for food. They said, well, we want steak one place, we want, this, we want to go to breakfast at one place. And so for steak, we did end up going, and trying, like you said, trying to keep the cost at minimal cost. Because it can get so pricey. The
food and the alcohol is crazy.
Yeah, and we tried to tell them a steakhouse there is really expensive, but we could go to Mona Gabi at Paris and get like a flat iron steak or hanger steak, and it's really good and so that's
reasonable.
And that's what we did. We went there and they loved it.
Oh, good!
Absolutely loved it.
And the food there is so fun.
And we got a beautiful table in the atrium.
Oh, good!
Yeah, so that was great. So anyway, that was our trip there, and we all left Friday night. So we got home about 7:30, I think, Friday night.
Right.
So, anyways, it was a great trip.
Okay.
We just had so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I wanted not to cut you off because I'm so excited. I haven't even heard about her Hawaii trip, and I'm dying to hear about that because I haven't been to Hawaii in forever.
I know.
Not since I pulled the tail feathers out of that sweet little bird. But anyhow, I wanted to update everybody because if you guys remember, Darrin was our tour guide when we went to
our last visit.
Yeah, when we went to Vegas
Yeah.
just a month and a half or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a text from Darrin about a week and a half ago. He got hit by a drunk driver.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
I didn't know it was a drunk driver.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm just so happy he's not hurt.
I know,
Bad.
because, I mean, honestly, like, that might have been the last time I talked to Darrin.
I know. See,
You know?
that's what makes you think about things like that.
Totally.
Like life can,
Yeah, you just never know. Like,
No.
you don't have to have a disease or
Mm-mm.
an illness.
No.
I mean, literally, he was at the wrong place
Oh.
at the wrong time, but he said he was okay. Like, he
Good.
is definitely banged up. He
like
showed me,
bruised up and stuff.
yeah, like internally, like his
Oh.
neck, his back.
Oh,
And he's like an avid golfer, an avid bowler. I mean, he
Bowler,
does
yeah.
these bowling tournaments all
Mhm.
over. Like, when I was in Vegas with my friend just recently, he was in New Orleans.
At a tournament, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
we were
at a
talking
tournament.
about that when I was there.
It's-
He was saying it was so funny because we were talking about Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
She was going to be in Vegas. Darrin was going to be in
New
Was it
Orleans.
I thought it was Louisiana.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Boy, I'm really good at geography.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh my God! Because he kept saying, "I'm going to be in Louisiana," and
Yes.
I'm like, "And I'm going to be in Oahu." It was like we're all three.
Yeah.
We're going to be in different spots. on
Yeah, and
Mother's Day.
we're together
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But on Mother's Day, we're all
We're
going to
all
be in
three
different
going
places.
like this.
Yes. So I didn't get to hook up with Darrin.
Oh, and I was going to ask you because we haven't seen each other in a while. So
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because I knew it was like you were flying out on Tuesday and he was coming home on Monday.
Yeah, Monday night.
And so I was wondering, and I knew you weren't leaving till Tuesday night.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you were able to hook up like Tuesday day. You weren't able
no,
to.
he was
Okay.
golfing.
Oh, he had a
He
golf
was golfing
thing.
that
Okay,
day.
okay.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, in true Darrin fashion, because he's always so funny and he always has such a good attitude.
Yeah.
And you guys know because we told you about how he reacted when he broke his mirror on the
side
parking meter, thing.
The arm. The speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Because
speaker
he
thing.
was trying to pay for our parking, and then we needed to back up to go talk to somebody
'Cause I kept
it
spinning
wouldn't
the
take our
ticket out,
ticket.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he just totally broke his mirror when he was backing out and
Yeah.
hit that permit thing
Yeah.
where you stick your ticket in. So anyhow, so then Darrin sent me pictures of his car, and he goes, "Unfortunately, that drunk driver hit my passenger side, so I'm not getting my mirror fixed for free." I was like, "Darrin,
That's the first thing I asked her. Oh, does he can get his mirror
Right?
fixed now? Well, you know what though? He didn't get us hurt because he got hit on the passenger side.
Exactly.
So thank goodness.
Thank goodness
Thank
he did.
goodness, yeah.
But then he was like, I was teasing
Exactly.
anyways because literally my car is totaled. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I just loved that he used the moment to say, the drunk driver hit me
Make
on the wrong
something
side.
funny.
If he'd have hit me on the driver's side, I would have got my mirror fixed for free. And I'm like, I'm just cracking
Oh
up
my
because
gosh.
that is just Darrin. He's always ready for a
I
joke.
love that though.
I know.
I love a happy attitude.
Yeah,
about,
he's
because
always-
stuff happens, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's how you handle that stuff.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I appreciate somebody
I
like
know,
that so
I
much,
know,
you know?
me too. And
Oh.
he's recovering. But
I am so sorry, Darrin.
Yeah,
that
I know.
That happens,
Darrin's watching,
you know?
so we hope you're feeling so much better.
Well,
and
next time we see
we're
you,
so
you'll
sorry.
have a new car.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Then we can Uber around with you in the Duber in your new car.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, thanks a lot.
Whatever, girl.
Yeah.
All the insurance stuff and the hospital.
Poor guy.
Like, anyways.
Oh.
Well, everybody just keep Darrin in your prayers.
Yes.
And now I
yes,
want to hear
sure.
about Hawaii.
So Hawaii was amazing. So
Remind us too.
yeah, my
'Cause it was-
son for my birthday in February gave me a trip to Hawaii, flying first class, which I have never done in my entire life. And going to Oahu with him, me and him have not been to, well, heck, we haven't been anywhere really, vacation wise, for I think he was 18 the last time we went to Hawaii together, and he's 37 now.
I mean,
Yeah.
other than Disneyland.
Other than Disneyland,
Yeah.
this was the last time we went to Hawaii he was 18.
Wow.
Yeah, so what, 20 years, 19 years.
Now he's like almost 40, 38.
37.
37,
Yeah, he's
wow.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was so excited. He was so excited. And we were flying out on Mother's Day. So, again, we were super excited because we both have never flown first class. And I was just like, oh my gosh, Hawaiian Air on first class. Normally, you walk through first class when you're going on Hawaiian Air, and I'd always see these big old wide
Yes, with the
and
champagne.
I'd see their champagne and their little tables out, and
them looking at you like you're just this little,
you're just a commoner, walking through us.
Poor people.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. So, anyway, so I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be the person that finally gets to be sitting there, right?
I get to be the fancy person.
Oh my gosh. So as soon as you sit down, and I had forgotten that you get to go on first too. Not only are you're first seated.
Yes.
So and there's only so many. I think there was, I think David had told me the first plane, because our planes were different going and coming back.
Oh.
So that we had whole different setups.
Wow.
For first class. And so, anyway, so you go on first, and I think there were 18 first class seats. So there's not a ton,
Right.
so there's 18. So as soon as you sit down, you literally have like your own like waiters, and I know they're the stewards, the flight attendants, but you have like one to like serve just 5 people.
Oh wow!
You're talking first class service.
Wow.
Yeah, like you could have as much to drink as you want.
Oh my gosh!
You would be drunk. You would be drunk before you got there.
That would be a disaster.
But so as soon as you sit down, it's like they put a tablecloth on your table. They have you take your table out, put a tablecloth on it, and they ask you, what would you like? You can have a Mai Tai when you first sit down. A Mai Tai, a rum punch, or a juice. A Pog juice, which Pog is my favorite.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Passion orange guava. I never realized how many people don't know what Pog is.
Yes.
And they had been to Hawaii, but they had never heard of Pog. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's like my favorite thing in the world, right?
Yeah,
so
because
anyway.
when I first went to Hawaii and I saw Pog, I thought Pog was a fruit.
Oh,
and it was
okay,
the juice.
like a different fruit, yeah.
Yeah, like a Hawaiian fruit that I'd never heard of named Pog.
Right.
And then I asked somebody, like, what does Pog juice taste like? And they're like, well, have you had pineapple, orange?
Passion. It's passion orange guava.
Oh, passion.
Orange
have you
guava,
had
yeah.
passion, orange, or
Guava,
guava?
yeah.
And like P-O-G.
Yeah.
Oh! I thought it was a fruit. So anyhow, maybe there's other people that were that ignorant as I was.
Well, I just think only because my friend Karen and Julie were over the other night. We celebrated Karen's birthday, but they have been to Hawaii, and they both never heard of Pog.
Really?
And I was just kind of shocked. I just thought everybody that went to Hawaii knew about it because they offer it you on the plane, too, all the time.
Yeah, and all the buffets, like at the
everywhere
Hyatt,
has Pog.
There's a little chain, and it says Pog, or it'll say OJ or
and
orange
it's on
juice.
all the menus and
Yes.
all that. But anyway, so
That's funny.
a lot of people
'Cause
don't
those
know
girls
about
travel
it.
a lot.
Yeah, especially
Hi,
Julie,
girls.
right? Yeah, especially Julie. Anyway, so so I had Pog, and they give you a little, and then I think that's what really gets you. You get real dishes. You get real dishes. You get real silverware. You get a glass.
Yes.
You don't get plastic.
Exactly.
You get a glass. And so my son got a Mai Tai, and then I got the Pog, and then they bring you a little glass dish of macadamia nuts.
Oh, cute.
So that's like your first little treat, and I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so special
Special
right now. This is before the plane even takes off.
Yes.
You're just
like
sitting there,
treated
right?
like a queen as soon as you sit down.
As soon as you sit down.
I love that.
So then, anyway, when you go, it's always in the morning, and so you get breakfast when you're going, right? So, of course, I'm always in the commoner seats, previously, and you always get these really gross pocket sandwiches that are like a breakfast pocket sandwich, and it's like a scrambled egg and I don't know, sausage or something, and they give you a drink, and that's they usually throw them across the that's what you usually get. So here we are in first class, and you get a menu. And then the menu has two choices. And so I picked one choice, and my son picked the other one. And so literally you are getting a tray with dishes, everything, cloth napkins.
Wow.
I mean, it's just the royal treatment.
Totally.
I had, and again, I did take photos of this also, so I will post photos. But I had kimchi fried rice, scrambled eggs, Portuguese sausage, fresh fruit, let's see, going. I had the chocolate coconut hapia cake.
Oh my gosh.
I had a croissant.
Oh my gosh.
And juice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so much.
It was so yummy. It was so good. And then my son got it's the exact same setup except the main dish, he got the berry pancakes. Ooh. So there was like 4 pancakes and it had like a berry sauce that went over it and a little container of maple syrup, you know. Cute. It was just super, and it was great. It was yummy. He looked at mine though and he goes, I wish I would have got yours. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I just wasn't thinking. I could have pancakes anywhere, right? I could go to IHOP and have berry pancakes. I should have got that kimchi fried rice, you know.
Yes.
So I let him have some of mine so he could, you know, taste it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just have to say, it was magical. It was a magical trip for me to be with my son. Yes. And we were so comfortable because you have such a big chair and a thing to put your feet off. They give you pillows. They give you a blanket. They hand you the tablet, so it all comes with it. You don't have to buy anything, you know. The tablet, they have this arm that comes over. Your tablet sits there. They give you headphones. You can watch all the movies for free, whatever you want, you know. It's just... And the whole time, can I get you something to drink? Can I get you a snack? Can I get... The whole way.
Wow.
It's just amazing. I've just never experienced it in my life. So to have experienced it, I told my son, oh my God, you have spoiled me really bad.
And with your son. What like such a great memory that you're having, that it was your first time in first class and his first time in first class. That was just so sweet.
Yes. And so I had never asked him anything about the trip. I knew he had reserved the Outrigger Reef Hotel because that's where we used to stay when he was young, and we love that hotel because it's right on the beach and it's such a great spot. You know, it's kitty corner from Roy's and the Embassy Suites, and it's just really good, like Lure Street's right there.
And you can walk to stuff.
Walk to everything, you know?
That's so nice.
So, so we get there and we're checking in, and this hotel has been all redone since we had been there, stayed there back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. The lobby's redone, the restaurant, and it's where Monkey Pod is, and Monkey Pod's a very a good restaurant that I had in Maui.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a really good.
Cute.
You would love it too.
Is it like a jungle?
No, it's Monkey Pod is the Monkey Pod tree, you know, that grows like that. It's kind of flat on the bottom and it grows like that. It's called a Monkey Pod tree.
I totally know what tree you're talking about. I didn't know it was named that.
So they named this restaurant and they started in Maui.
Cute.
And it's the only one I know of in Oahu. It's at our hotel.
Oh, how
And I had gone there last August with my friend Cindy. When I'd gone to Oahu, I went, oh my God, Monkey Pod's here now, you know? So that's awesome because I love that restaurant.
And they have good food.
Way good food. And a big bar and happy hour and everything. Yeah. So anyway, so when we got there, I didn't really know anything what was going on. And so we got our room. And so he had reserved an oceanfront room. And I'm just like, oh my God, David, I never asked him how much money it cost, you know, because I think that's rude.
Yes.
So I have no idea, but
as a mom, you're probably feeling so bad.
I am.
That he spent so much.
So much money.
But to him, he probably felt so proud.
He was.
And so excited to like splurge for his mom.
He was. And the whole time we were there.
That's so cute.
I would be like, well, what do you want to do today? You know, da-da-da. And he would be like, whatever you want to do, Mom. This trip is for you. Whatever you want, you know?
What a sweet boy.
And I just can't even tell you the best time. He was, he just wanted to accommodate me the whole time. And we just got along so great. I mean, there was not one time did we ever fuss at each other or anything. And it was like in the bathroom, he goes, Mom, does it bother you that all my stuff is right here? I'm like, no, not at all. It's almost brings me joy that my son's stuff is here because, you know, he doesn't live at home. And so I miss all his stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You say it bugs you when, you know, they live there and there's stuff, you know.
Yes.
And then when they're gone, you miss it.
Yeah, it's all
that's
like
true.
empty. And it's quiet, and you miss them, and you don't get to see them all the time.
No. So anyway, it was the best vacation ever. The only two big things we did was I had made reservations at the Polynesian Cultural Center, which again, he had been there probably the last time he was there. I think he was about 10.
Wow.
So he did not really remember that much, and that is a full day.
Wow.
We left our hotel at 9:30 in the morning, and you walk over to a hotel where the bus picks you up, and it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get to the Polynesian Cultural Center. And for those of you who haven't been there, Waikiki is down here, and you go all the way up the whole side of the island up to here is where the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Oh, wow.
So it's really fun because the bus driver will tell you all the sights to see, and so you get to see this whole other side of the island that you don't, get to see in Waikiki.
Like a more tropical.
Oh, and there's
side.
different sites like Chinaman's Hat, and I can't remember. There's just little places, he would tell us like this is there, and I've been there probably 10 times, but I forget every time. It's like, it's like seeing it for But anyway, this, if anybody has been there, it's a day-long thing. You're there, you go to the other islands. We had a guide. You go to a great big luau. They brought you pineapple drinks when you got there.
And a pineapple?
And a pineapple.
Oh, I love that.
I did too, and we didn't ever get that before, so that was something new.
Wow.
And inside was like a virgin pina colada with
Ooh.
pineapple on top and a cherry and an umbrella.
How pretty.
I have pictures of that too.
Okay, I was going to ask.
And the thing is that the Polynesian Culture Center is owned by the Mormons. So the BYU Oahu, a lot of the students that work there, because that they can make money by working there and going to school.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really nice, and like our guide, he was one of the students, and he was really cool, and he was literally thanking us for coming, and he goes, "You helped me, by you coming here and spending the money to look at our beautiful place."
Oh,
and
how sweet that he was so appreciative.
Yeah, it's fun, and then you do like a canoe ride down the little lazy river. It's really fun. And then, so after all the islands, you do go to this gigantic luau. It's a giant buffet. Food was excellent. You have that. And then after that, you go to the big show.
Oh, my gosh.
And it is like a Broadway show.
And is this like where they do all the fire spinning and the dancing?
Well, this one is a show.
Oh.
Like a Broadway show.
Really?
It's called Ha. And Ha is the breath of life.
Oh.
And so it is a show, and I've seen it again. I've probably seen it 5 times, but I just love it. It's about it's actors or the students or whatever, and they are acting out from the time this little boy is born and how he grows up to a man and how he learns about the breath in his life and how he gets married. It's just you would love it.
I would.
You would
it's
love
probably
that
something
show.
that would make me cry.
It's like I'll have to go again because I have to take her.
Yes.
You would love
well,
it.
and I want to go to Hawaii with you because you know the city side. Which island is that?
The Oahu, that's where we just went. Yeah.
Honolulu, is that one?
That thing.
Okay, okay. And so I've never done a trip like that.
She's never been there. She's only been to Maui.
Yep, only Maui, Kanapali, both times. Because we loved it and we just recreated the trip again.
Yes.
Only went 7 days the first time, and then, a couple years later we went back to the same place for 10 days. So I don't know with this whole city life.
Right,
and
because it's so different.
Totally
you're walking the streets in Waikiki at 10 o'clock at night because all the there's stores everywhere and they all stay open, and there's tiki torches lit
I love that.
down the street, and I love it.
That was the bummer about the Maui side was that everything closes. And then you're kind of stuck, and you're
There's
like,
nothing
now
to
what do we do?
Unless you drink. At least you can go to the bars. I don't even drink.
Yeah.
So it's like there's really nothing to do, so you go to sleep.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to sleep my vacation away.
I know, right? But we did do that one day. So left our room at 9:30 in the morning. The bus dropped us off in front of our hotel. He was so sweet, this bus driver, because, I forgot to tell you this part. They told us the day we were there that we were super lucky because in between the show, that we were going to be there a little longer than normal, because in between the show, we were going to get to watch the 3 finals of the fire dancers.
What?
So they said this is just something that happens once a year, and it just happens to fall on your night.
No!
So we got to see
exciting.
the guy from Samoa, the guy from the Big Island, and a guy from Maui compete with their fire dancing.
Oh,
it was great.
Gosh.
So good. And we got
Did you
to
get
see
pictures?
them. I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm excited.
And we got to see them win the winner won $2,500, and they introduced the judges. I mean, it was a big thing.
Wow.
They had trophies, the whole bit.
That is so cool.
It was-
How long was that?
I'd say an extra half an hour, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Because their things are maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what the fire
That's
is. The
fast.
guy who won it though, I'm sure you've seen like the stick and it has the fire on both sides.
Yes.
The guy who won did 3 of them. And I mean, I've seen a guy connect 2 and do 2 where they swing them, but this guy did 3.
I
And
don't
we
even
were
know.
just like, whoa! And sure enough, he was the winner. He won it. Yeah.
Wow. Good for
Anyway.
him.
So, they dropped us back off because everybody's so tired, and oh my God, that bus was freezing. I was freezing in that bus on the way home. But anyway, at 11:45 at night,
Oh my gosh. You had to be exhausted.
you know I was exhausted.
You needed a vacation from your vacation.
You know I was, because my energy level is down, right?
Compromise.
So I was so thankful that he dropped us off right in front of our hotel.
You're like, I'm not
All
even sure
I
I
had
can walk.
to do was go across the street. I'm like, thank goodness the elevator's right there. So we went up, brushed our teeth, and just
Crashed.
sacked out. And I said to David, I am not getting up in the morning. I am sleeping in. I know I need to. He's like, Mom, that's
Yes.
fine. You sleep as long as you want, right?
Totally.
So I did. I don't think I got out of bed. I think I woke up around 9, but I didn't get out of bed till about 11.
Wow.
I really was exhausted.
Yes.
And he was great though, because he knew, like, he could tell him we would walk all day and go to the international. We went to the international market 3 times.
Oh, nice.
Because of all they have this Japanese grocery store up there, and he just loved to get buying stuff there, you know.
Aw.
And he loved. We had an ABC store right below in our hotel.
Oh.
And he would go every morning and get poke. They have poke. They've got musubis. They got all this food, cut fruit. They have everything, right?
Wow. What's masubi?
Oh, the Spam rice ball. The rice with the Spam. It's like cooked in like a teriyaki sauce, and then
Oh.
they wrap noti, the seaweed, around it.
Oh, with the piece of Spam on
With
top
the
of the
piece
rice
of Spam
ball?
of the rice ball, yeah.
Never seen that.
He loved that.
Wow.
And he was in heaven. Because
I
he
bet.
went down there and that's what he would eat.
And he
just
loves
loved
stuff
it.
like that.
Loved it.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So we did sleep in. And the only other thing we did other than more just walking and, that kind of stuff was I noticed in the hotel there was a little thing they were advertising, and they had a new Cirque du Soleil show in Honolulu. I'm like, well, I've never heard of that before.
Me neither.
So it was called Aoana. And what it was a Cirque du Soleil show, but done with Hawaiian vibes and Hawaiian outfits. And the
Wow.
whole thing was Hawaiian.
Oh, that had to be gorgeous.
So I said, would you want to go to like a Cirque du
Yeah.
Soleil? And he goes, yeah, I would love to see a show. And I'm like, yay, because I didn't know for sure if he'd want to do that. But he's like, I would love to. So I got tickets for that. So we did that Friday night, and it was great. I mean, we got to see the roller skaters. We got to see
Wow.
the guys on these great big gigantic things, the acrobats.
And
the
stuff in the sky.
Yes, and the girl that was an acrobat, and then she went into this gigantic water. It looked like a gigantic martini glass, but she was in the water doing stuff. I mean, it was fabulous. We
Wow.
both just loved it.
Wow.
Loved it, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm so jealous. But
Ah.
I'm so glad you had such a great time with your boy.
Yeah. We just had David said, and I think that's what made my heart the best, warm, was he said, Mom, this could have not gone any more perfect. He goes, I feel like every meal we ate was good. He goes, every table we sat at, we got the best table. I mean,
Aw.
when they sat us at Monkey Pod, we kept walking. So when I was there the last time, I sat at the bar with my girlfriend, and we I think it was happy hour, we did
Yeah.
a happy hour, and we sat at the bar. Well, so I hadn't seen like the whole restaurant,
Yeah.
So the hostess was taking us, and he was walking, and then we sit at this table. I'm like, wow, this is our table. He goes, I think this is my favorite table. I go, well, it's my favorite table.
Yeah, you're all thank
I
you.
am looking at the ocean in Diamond Head.
No.
And I took a picture of that too.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, this is my view. I'm like,
Serious.
this is amazing.
Serious.
Yeah.
David was right. Like,
It was just like the best. I mean, we had such a good time together. We walked all over. And he was like, Mom, if you're tired. It was one time, it was really funny. We're laying in bed, right? He's over here and I'm over here. And he's like playing a game on his phone or something. And I'm, I've never watched so much Seinfeld and Friends before. That's what he was watching.
Right.
But it was so funny because we were, I think it was that following day when I was really tired, And we're just like laying there chilling. I probably am on my phone or something. And he's like, Mom, are you bored? I go, no. Are you bored? He goes, nope. He goes, I'm fine, just chilling, and I'm not at work. He goes, I love it. And I said,
Oh my
so
gosh.
do I.
Yeah.
And every morning I went to the lanai and put my makeup on. It was so nice because we had the evening sun, not the morning sun.
Oh.
And it was just like perfect.
Yes.
Because every day I sat out looking at the ocean.
Wow.
And I sat there and I had my coffee and I had pog because I'd go to the ABC store and buy my pog. And
yes.
it was perfect.
That is magical.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly can't even imagine anything more perfect.
It was just great. And then we flew
And the
home.
weather? The weather was
The
good?
weather was great. It rained one time.
Oh, good.
I had brought my umbrella because it had said it was going to rain like 5 times or something,
Oh, serious?
It rained once.
Oh, that's perfect.
And so he went and bought an umbrella because we were out shopping on Waikiki. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh, okay, I guess I better buy an umbrella.
Yeah.
And it was pouring down, So he went and bought an umbrella. Then, of course, it stops, though,
Wow.
But
You never know.
It just such a great time.
I'm
and then,
so
flew home. And then we flew home first class. And we had a whole different airplane. So this was a whole different setup. These chairs went all the way back to where you could make it a bed.
No way.
Yeah. And these first class seats, you don't even see the commoners.
What?
You get to go in first and you sit up front and the commoners enter back here and go that way.
No way.
We use the bathroom. That was the other thing I thought was so cool. Your bathroom is what the cockpit guys use.
No way.
They use the same as the pilot and everything.
That is so cool.
I know.
It
was prettier.
Was it bigger?
Well, no. It was still small, but
Okay.
they had flower, orchids laid out on the
No.
sink, which they didn't have that the other one, right? Anyway, so I thought that was super cool too.
Oh,
you know.
man.
But anyway, so flying home. Was
Did they have hand towels instead of paper towels?
No, it was still.
Oh, okay.
It's like those napkins, though.
Oh,
They're
like a little
ones,
dispenser.
Like a thicker,
Yeah.
a thicker napkins thing. So, so the flying home was, beautiful too.
Oh, my gosh.
And we got dinner on that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did they serve for dinner?
So dinner was like a baked chicken and broccoli, and it had a saffron rice. I'm trying to remember. They did the purple taro roll, which is my favorite.
Okay.
And what was their cake? Oh, it was a mango crunch cake, they called it. It was delicious.
Oh.
And I think it was fruit also. And a drink, and it's the same thing, a little tablecloth, and it's the whole works.
Wow.
It's just, David, it was really funny, though, because on the way back, because they keep asking, can I get you something else? Can I get you a drink? Can I get you this? My son drank a Mai Tai when we got on the airplane, because they did the drink and the nuts again, right? He drank a Mai Tai, a hard seltzer, and 3 Cokes. Way back.
Thank goodness there was a bathroom close by.
I can't believe. He goes, I just figured it was the last time I was going to take advantage.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not paying for this again. Oh my gosh. I seriously thought you were going to say he had 5 Mai Tais.
Once.
Really?
I said, and you know what, even when we'd be walking around and stuff, I go, don't you have to go to the bathroom? He goes, no. Because I gotta go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
And I'd go find, I went down. So then we'd get back to, I said, you have a very large bladder.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to my husband who has a bladder the size of a pea.
Yeah. And then your son has a reserve tank.
Oh my God.
He's gotta switch to the reserve tank.
I know, right. So
That is so funny.
yeah. So it was awesome.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was the best vacation
I'm
ever.
so happy. I
Ever,
can't wait to see
ever.
the pictures.
Yeah, it was best.
Oh,
So,
good.
that was my trip.
Yay. Then it's back to reality.
Yeah, it's back
no
to reality.
orchids.
No.
No
Well, other than we
ocean
do have
view.
orchids at home. Me
Yeah.
and her are total orchid growers.
And speaking of orchids, garden, we wanted to give you guys
Yeah.
an update because
Oh, the
Cynthia and
garden.
I years ago realized that if you get an orchid as a gift and it never blooms in your house again and you think, oh, it must have died and you throw it away. No! Just put it in the window because I had accumulated so many orchids at one point that I didn't have room in my house to put them. So I just started sticking them in the windowsill. And then what do you know? Every 6 months, all of my orchids bloom. They're all in a window now. And Cynthia moved hers to a window.
Yeah, because I had all these orchids, And I
Because it's her favorite flower.
It has been for years and,
and
years
people
and years.
always, I've even bought you some years ago, but everybody always buys her orchids.
Yes.
And she's like, gosh, they never bloom
I go,
again.
I can't get them to bloom. And I said, how? I go, look at yours. Yours are gorgeous and they're blooming. She goes, you know what? It's from the time I put them in a window. Then I started getting flowers. And it's not that I have them in the dark or anything.
Yeah.
But it wasn't getting enough. It's indirect sunlight they need, right?
You can't put them on like a coffee table or an end table or the island.
And that's where I had them.
Yes.
I had them on my island.
Because you want them to be where you can just
and it was getting the sun from my kitchen window, but obviously not enough.
Exactly.
So when she told me, she goes, you got to put them in on a window seal. I'm like, I don't have a window seal.
Yeah, because she's got shutters.
I've got those shutters. So I'm like, crap, how am I going to do? So I figured out, I've got this one shutter in our family room. I go, if I open these up, I got the seal right there, right? I put all my orchids on that seal. I've had blooms ever since.
Totally.
Just gorgeous. I mean,
know.
I've got some right now that one of them is the prettiest bloom I've ever gotten in my life. It probably has 20 flowers on it.
Wow.
And I hooked it up on a stick, and it curved all the way down like
wow.
this. It's so
I
pretty.
love those because it just looks like a waterfall of flowers.
That's exactly what it looks like. And it's one of those ones that's the yellow and pink striped ones.
Ooh.
You know?
I love those ones that are kind of crazy.
So pretty. It is so pretty. But anyway, yeah. So, our gardens.
Yes. Okay, so we wanted to update you guys because Gone to Green Acres and I bought the English cucumber, the Armenian cucumber plants, and I'd gotten 2 of each of those. And then I got 2 pumpkin plants. So I'd gotten the jack-o'-lantern, 2 jack-o'-lantern plants, and I'd gotten 2 Cinderella pumpkin plants. And Cynthia was teasing me because she's like, you're going to wish that you hadn't have done that. And then I panicked when we were filming because I was like, maybe I overdid it. Because I'd even said, like, maybe I'll just give one of the plants away.
I thought you had more than that. No, you had 4?
I had 2 Cinderella, 2 jack-o'-lantern, 2 English cucumber, and 2 Armenian cucumber.
Oh, okay, because I knew in my mind you had 8.
Yep.
Okay, but
total there was 8.
But 4 were cucumbers.
Pumpkins. Oh yeah,
and
4 were
pumpkins.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Right.
So my thought was, I panicked when I was talking to you because you did share how it was going to blow up, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to plant them far apart in the flower or the, what do you call them?
She has a raised garden.
Raised garden. Yeah, thank you. So I wasn't going to plant them too far apart so that maybe it would go too far. I stuck them right next to each other when I planted them. Steve helped me. I can't take all the credit. And so anyways, I cannot wait to post pictures of how these have blown up. And when I tell you guys, these vines are magical, I am not joking because they got those little curly cues that just go out.
Yep.
It's twirling around the lights that we have on our back fence. It's twirling around other vines. It's twirling around my fence. Like, it is freaking beautiful. Seriously. I mean, I feel like Snow White just talking about it. I talk about the squirrels. I'm talking about the birds. Now I'm talking about my garden.
So I had planted the tomatoes, right? And I ended up also planting a jalapeno. And so we had talked about that I would be giving her tomatoes.
Yes.
And she would be giving me cucumbers, right? So when she got the pumpkins and when I saw that she had 4 of them, I had said, I don't know if you want to plant 4 pumpkins because it takes over your garden, right?
That's when the panic set in. You guys probably saw me.
Well, then she told me, I planted them all. I said, you did? Oh, my gosh. I have not seen her garden since probably maybe, a week after you planted. I went out there and I said, oh, my God, your garden's so cute. So, the pumpkin plants are about this tall.
So little.
The little leaves that come out like that. And our little cucumbers were over here. They were freaking adorable. And it was kind of like my tomatoes. I love because, you do the tomato cages.
Yes.
And I always love it because I get to watch how they grow. It's like, oh my God, they fit. Now I get to clip over that little round thing.
Yes.
Then it goes to the middle one. Then it goes to the tall one,
Yes.
It's like, they're all the way up there, So anyway, in my mind, the last time I saw her pumpkin was the little leaves coming out. So it's been a little over a month since I've seen them. So anyway, so we said, well, maybe I should go check them out, before we film because we're going to talk about the gardens, how they're growing, and we're loving them and everything. Oh my gosh. I died when I went out there. Her pumpkins are so big. Not the pumpkins, but the plant. The leaves look like elephant leaves.
Literally.
Right? They're this big.
Like as big as an elephant ear.
It is flowing. But what's really cool is that she has this raised bed that is up above a retaining wall.
Uh-huh.
So she has this whole area down below.
Yeah.
And so she has all the pumpkins flowing down.
Yes.
And the cucumbers flowing over.
Yeah, onto the retaining wall.
Yes.
So they're growing, it'll grow like in separate directions.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's growing like towards me because it's right up against the fence.
Yes.
On the side yard. And it is so cool. And I've just trained the branches as they're growing.
As you put them, they'll go that way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have them going all the, I mean, our side yard is, I don't even know, 200 feet long.
It's long.
Yeah. So it has a lot of room to grow.
Oh, yeah.
And the cool thing, too, is when we had our fence redone on that side of the house, we asked them to put another gate. Because we only had a gate on one side.
Yeah.
So if I have a hard time, like, stepping over all this stuff, I could just go around the front yard, open up the gate. The only bummer is the gate opens inward, so I might have to push the...
instead of outward.
But I figure by the time the pumpkins are ready to be picked, it's okay if I damage some of the vines because the season's over.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Good luck opening that gate.
Oh, man, I might have to put some muscle into it.
Because she already has those little pumpkins. Because, every flower
Yes.
is a pumpkin, and they're already yellow pumpkins like
Oh,
that.
serious. There's
And
probably at
unlike-
least 10 of them.
It's going to be Marilyn's pumpkin patch this
Serious?
year. Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you can charge for them.
I know.
I could make money.
I could be like, it's like a little garden estuary back there. I'll be like, you could see squirrels, and I have to tell you guys, snakes. I have 2 snakes that are living on the side of the raised garden.
Oh my gosh.
Between the fence and the raised garden.
What color are they?
Oh, they're so beautiful. So I looked it up. They're non-venomous, obviously. But they're black with orange and yellow.
So are they the king snakes or gardener snakes?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I did it like a month ago. I can't remember now. I think it's a king snake.
Yeah, I think so too. That's the one I picked up by accident when I was cleaning that time. One time I had gloves on and I was picking up all the dead leaves like this underneath my tree, and I went like this,
You must have been so shocked.
Scared the crap
Oh
out of
my
me.
gosh. Well, the cool thing is that there's a bigger one, and when I say bigger, it's not that big.
So a Japanese thing is you can't do that for snakes.
What do you mean?
My mom, my whole life.
What? I'm like, what am I doing?
I don't know. But my mom always told me in Japan, when you do snakes and you talk about how big they are, you can't do them with your hands. And so I have to chop it.
I thought there was like a fly or something.
No, so she says it's like a fairy tale or a, what do you call that?
Like a wives' tale?
A wives' tale, that if you do that, your hands are going to rot.
What?
So,
No.
But I cut it for you.
Okay, I won't do that. Well, I have a friend that tells me you can't do that because that's a measurement that people might get the wrong idea about. So I try not to do that, but I did it. So sorry.
That's funny.
Well, thank you for chopping it because I don't want my hands to
I don't
rot.
want your hands to rot, so I had to chop it.
Okay, so I'm just going to use like a verbal measurement. So the one that I found originally, it was probably about 3 feet long and probably about the size of a quarter around.
Okay.
But his head is really tiny, like the
Oh.
cutest little face.
Huh.
Where like what I learned was if the head is bigger than the body, then typically those are the venomous ones.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I
But
did not
on
know
this
that.
one, his body was wider than his little tiny head.
Oh, wow.
And then I'd seen him on the side yard down by the raised bed. Well, just minutes later, I go inside and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I look outside straight to the backyard. And I see another one. And I see his tail hanging off the retaining wall.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if he climbed up the retaining wall. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But when I ran out to go see it, I can't stick my hands up and show you how big it was. So I'll just tell you, it was probably like a foot long.
You can. I'll just cut it for you.
It was like a baby.
Uh-huh.
That was kind of fun, though. I was like, chop! What are you doing? I thought you were karate chopping a bug or something that flew in. But anyhow, so I don't know if that was a daddy over by the raised bed and a
then
mommy
this is the baby or
a
mommy.
baby.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I've seen them a ton of times.
Oh, wow. So
and I
there-
try not to scare them or make them think I'm like going to hurt them because I just want them to stay back there.
I actually like snakes. I always have.
Oh, good.
I don't like picking them up when I didn't know. But I can hold a snake and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
I do love that.
I think we have talked about, like, we both like reptiles.
Yes.
You know, like lizards.
Because there's
and
lizards all
snakes.
back there,
we
too.
have so many lizards.
See, this is how can
of
open a
lizards,
pumpkin
yeah.
patch. We could charge. We could sell the
You
pumpkins.
come see the lizard.
You got lizards, snakes, squirrels.
And squirrels.
You got blue jays. You got doves. You
The
got
doves,
pigeons.
Pigeons, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know when I'm going to open my backyard to the public.
Yes, exactly. She'll post it.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
We should probably...
I was going to say, no, I just wanted to say, I do have a cucumber. Can I show how big my cucumber is?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter about cucumbers. It's only snakes.
Okay, just snakes. Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
Isn't that funny?
Okay, it is funny, but I love learning all those, like, folklore.
That old Japanese folklore.
Yeah.
And, things like that embed in your mind when your mom tells
for
you that all
sure.
the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. No,
but
that's
I do.
okay for a cucumber.
Okay, so my cucumber. So I don't have any Armenian cucumbers yet. I only have English. I almost said Japanese.
Yeah.
So my English cucumber is like this big. I'm so excited.
Yep. It is.
I
saw it.
Pray that the squirrels don't get to it.
Yeah, that was another thing because, I think she's made the population of where we live grow.
Because she only lives a couple miles
size.
from me.
Yeah, because I never had squirrels before. Now we have 2.
Sorry.
And I have been watching them because they're coming down into our yard and they're getting those little
pine nuts.
nut things that drop from the palm trees.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they are. They look like, when they come in a bunch like a date.
Yeah, it
like
kind of hangs
dates.
down.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they eat those things.
That's crazy.
So anyway, they were coming down, and all of a sudden the other day, I'm like, oh, they're coming into our yard now, and they're eating stuff, and I'm like, oh, will they get into my garden?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to Google that. Sure enough, they said, I Googled, do squirrels eat tomatoes, from a garden?
Yeah.
They said, yes, they will eat them all.
Oh, my gosh.
They will eat half. The best thing to do is if you don't want to do like hazardous type stuff, to do coffee grinds and to put coffee grinds all around it. So I'm hoping they can't jump over my coffee grind barrier.
Yeah.
Because I already have green tomatoes growing, and I got little teeny ones. And so, if they eat my tomatoes, I said, boy, I'm going to be mad.
I mean, serious.
They
Like when
better not.
I didn't know that. I thought they only ate nuts.
Yeah,
seeds,
I didn't know they
things
ate
like
vegetables and stuff.
Right? So I'm going to be super mad if they eat my garden.
Yeah.
So the other thing, too, is that you guys, if you watched a previous podcast, you learned that the little jerks bit a hole in my screen and ate the peanuts that I had stored in a little cup by the back patio door.
Yes.
But since then, Brayden has patched my screen. Thank you, Brayden. But now that she said this, now I'm terrified they're going to be eating my cucumbers and my pumpkins.
Well, I told her. So,
Yeah.
So hopefully she was thinking about going to Starbucks and getting the coffee grinds and doing some coffee grinds.
Yeah,
around
because
the
last
area.
year somebody told me that coffee grinds are good for the fertilizer and the
they
potting
are.
soil. So I got a bag last year and I sprinkled all in there, but I didn't make a trail. So I'm going to definitely go back and do that because I will be even more mad at those little buggers because I stopped putting out peanuts because they ate a hole in my screen.
Yeah.
Also, they were burying the peanuts in all my flower beds all over the backyard, and so roots were being exposed, and then my flowers were dying. So anyhow, I switched just to sunflower seeds. They don't bury them.
Okay.
They just eat them wherever I set them out or pour them. Yeah, they just eat them all right there.
So hopefully they're full and they won't bother your garden.
Yes, because I'm like, you little jerks. Like, I'm literally feeding you. And then you put a hole in my screen.
Yeah.
Now if you
doing
eat
something
my
bad.
cucumbers, like, I'm going to be so annoyed.
I know,
so,
right? I know.
Anyhow, I guess I need to not withhold the sunflower seeds. Hopefully they'll get full on those and won't have to worry about it.
I think that's about a big update for us, right?
Yeah, because we've had so much to catch you guys up on.
We did. We had a ton to catch you up on.
Yes.
And we had tons of fun.
Yes.
So it was fun to be able to tell you about our tons of fun.
Yeah, even though we weren't even together.
I know, right? We were
this
separate,
little break
but we had blast.
Yeah, but it was so fun because I got to hear about her trip. You got to hear about mine.
Yes, exactly.
And now we want to bring you to the topic of today's episode because a few weeks ago we had talked about how everyone has a love language.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never done the love language quiz. And this has been around for, I don't even know, 15 years, 20 years.
Really?
I'm not even sure.
I had never even heard of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyhow, I was so curious what my love language was. So I took the quiz. It's a 32-question quiz. And the funny thing is, I thought that maybe we could, like, do it on the podcast live so that you guys would learn our love languages as we were doing it. But when I was doing my research and I logged on to the love, language quiz website, there's 32 questions. So I'm like, no way. And it did take a little while because you really got to think about it. And we'll put the website in the episode description so you guys can do the test if you haven't already done it. But the thing that I learned is the questions are very similar. But what you have to do is you have to not think of any other question you've already answered. You have to just choose one of the two. So, like, one question might say, would you rather your husband get you a gift while he's on vacation so you know he thought about you? Or would you rather him, like, put his arm around you in public? So, like, you have to think, okay, in this scenario, would I rather him put his arm around me? Or would I rather him get me a gift? And I'm like, I do like it when my partner holds my hand in public, puts his arm around me in public. To me, that means he's proud of me, she's mine. Like, it just feels good. But then there is another question where it'll say something like, would you rather your husband, be gone for several days on a trip without you and bring you home a gift? Or would you rather he do a chore for you that he doesn't like to do?
Yeah, something you don't like to do.
Yeah. Like, but you don't have time to do, and he doesn't necessarily like to do it, but he'll do it for you anyways. Well, it's like when I really think about it, I don't want him doing my chores. I really don't want him to do anything for me if he doesn't want to do it. So in that case, yes, I would rather have a gift, So you really got to analyze it. And this test took me like 45 minutes to get through 32 questions, even though you feel like your knee-jerk reaction would be, well, I picked gift for the last question where it offered a gift as an answer. Right. So I should pick the gift on this one too. But no,
because it's different. Yeah,
it's a totally different situation. Yeah. So the crazy thing is that in my mind, I had two things that I thought were going to be my love language.
Oh, yeah, because it gave you 3 categories, right? Like what you could come up with? Is that what it was?
5.
Oh, 5. Oh, wow.
And I wrote them down. Excuse me. Because I was worried that I might not remember them all. So forgive me. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And I feel like I am an overanalyzer. I know myself pretty well. And I know that I really like it when somebody gives me words of affirmation. So, like, even in the workplace, like if I did a really good job or I killed out 30 files in one day, like, I want somebody to be like, you kicked butt, way to go. And I'm like, thank you. Because inside, I feel that pride. And I always try to do things so that I do feel proud of myself. But when somebody else recognizes your hard work, doesn't it feel so good?
So good.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
And then I also thought that mine would be words of affirmation because I really do like it when I get a compliment, especially from my husband. And so, if he says, oh my gosh, that dress looks so pretty on you, or oh my gosh.
It always means so much more, even if you looked at yourself and thought, oh, well, this fits really good, or this looks pretty good. But when somebody else says it, it just makes it 100 times better.
Especially when it's your hubby.
Yes.
And so, anyhow, for that reason, I thought that it would be words of affirmation.
Yeah.
The other one I thought it was going to be was gifts, because I know that when I was a little girl, my mom would go to the grocery store. She would always bring Carolyn and I back a little something, whether it was a little toy in the toy aisle at the grocery store, or Abba Zaba, or a big hunk, like our favorite candy. Rocky Road, that was another one that we loved. And it just meant so much to me because I knew my mom was a busy stay-at-home mom. She ran the household while my dad was working. And to think that while she was out running all these errands, going to the bank and going to the produce stand and going to the grocery store, like, she actually thought about me and Carolyn. So I found myself, after I had Braden, I was the same way. And I think it's because it meant so much to me that my mom would get me stuff, that I would do that. I still do it. Every time Cynthia and I go on vacation, I buy Braden something. If I go to the grocery store, I get him something. I'll just leave it on his desk or leave it on his keyboard. And to me, I'm just carrying on the same feeling that my mom gave me. Whether Braden likes it or not, it doesn't matter. Because I want to do it because I know that makes me feel good. And I love it. You do it all the time. When you go on vacation, vacation,
My
you bring
son
me
doesn't-
something.
Or my sons. I
Or
buy
you
them
buy
something.
John and your son
David
something.
and
I do
Jared,
that.
Yep.
I buy
do.
Steve something.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, that was the other thing I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be receiving gifts.
Yes, yeah.
Because I do love that. Well, I took the test and I was shocked to find out that my love language is quality time. And it's 33%.
So
quality
who
time.
knew?
No.
So that's a third.
Yeah.
So when it says, and it gives you that, so it says a third of you wants quality time, which 33%, of
Yes.
course, is more than 30. So to add up to 100, we don't know what the other 30 and 30 is.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you guys want to pay money, on the
Yeah.
website I'm going to give you, you can find out what
The whole
other
thing is.
percentages
Yes,
was.
yes.
Because I could have been like, 33% quality time, 32%,
Yes.
words
Yeah,
of affirmation.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other ones could have been like 5 or
Right.
6%, know?
Right.
So I don't know what the others are because I didn't want to pay. I just wanted to know what the majority was,
What
and it
the
will tell
biggest
you
one, yeah.
what the majority was.
Okay.
And the majority was quality time. And like I said, I was flabbergasted. But the thing is when I thought about it, I was like, okay, Steve and I get along so well. We never argue. He's so amiable. So it's just like we just don't argue. And we have so much fun together. Well, I mean, when we first met, we were shopping for stuff for the house and going wine tasting. Like, we like to do the same things.
Right.
So I think to me, it's very comforting to be around Steve.
Yes.
And so a lot of the questions would be things that I was like, I really don't care if he helps me do something that I'm too tired to do. I would really rather like hang out with him and watch our favorite shows, or maybe go I don't know, Apple Hill, like whatever we do.
Right.
Go to the movies, go to dinner. Like
Right.
those are things I love to do. So it was actually quite refreshing
Yeah.
when it didn't come out to be words of affirmation, because to me, I do feel like that was a little bit self-serving. Because it's about me.
You want to hear, you want to hear. Yeah.
Yes. But I think that it's my nature. Like, I have no problem admitting that I'm a people pleaser. And I think that words of affirmation kind of falls in that, where I want to please people. I want to know that people are happy with me, and also to be recognized when I do something good. So I was kind of thinking, like, pleasantly surprised that it wasn't one of the more selfish ones,
Yes.
Because the other
Like
one,
me.
receiving gifts, because receiving gifts was another selfish one.
So I took the test, and what does it come out? It's funny that it was 33%. It was receiving gifts.
Yes. We both got 33%, but on totally different love languages.
And it cracked me up, because now I will say I love getting gifts, but I also love giving gifts.
Yes.
I am a big gift giver.
She is.
And I was kind of feeling when I got the result.
That's a little bit of a punch in the gut.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh, well, that's not a very good one, that I want to receive gifts all the time. But I think, and we did talk about this a little bit, the test, when you take it, it depends on your relationship that you're in right now, right?
Yes.
I could have taken that test with, say,
An
ex person, and that relation was completely different than what my marriage is now, and it would have came out different.
Yes.
But I know a lot of the stuff, and I did truly, and I think it did come out that way because I answered them honestly, you know? And I do think a big part of me and my husband, John, from the very beginning, it was gift giving.
Yes.
He was a super gift giver.
Yeah.
And he's very thoughtful about what little things he would give me, and that was some of the things I found endearing about him when I first met him.
Because it wasn't like he just got you a flower.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he got you a piece of Swarovski crystal. Something that was special.
Yeah.
And there was something about what he picked out.
Because he saw I ate apples all the time, and he buys me a Waterford crystal apple.
Waterford, that's right,
It's
Waterford.
just, it was thoughtful, right? So, and then throughout our marriage, it has been. So I didn't mention, but on this last Las Vegas trip, I've been, we've talked about my health and stuff, and of course, time is gone, and as time goes, I'm experiencing more things also. So, my husband had told me that every time we go to Vegas together, he wants to try to make it special for me. And he literally had, again, when we landed, we checked in, and he goes, you got a spa appointment at 2, so get ready to go,
Aww.
And I had gone, and I got to do the spa, and then he had gone to the Bellagio. He went to the place again. He bought me a beautiful bouquet of flowers sitting on the dining table waiting for me.
Oh.
And then when we all went out to Javier's, the Mexican restaurant, with Mike and Deb, he had ordered a cake from the patisserie. Like he did for my birthday.
Serious.
But this one was just this gorgeous, and I have pictures of it also.
Oh, good.
This gorgeous pink, beautiful cake. And instead of happy birthday or happy anniversary, it said a celebration of life.
Oh.
And he said, we need to celebrate life right now.
Yes.
And it almost made me want to cry.
Yes, serious. Because
You know?
it's like, most people do a celebration of life
When
after
they're dead, yeah.
you're gone.
You're dead. But he said, I want to celebrate now.
Yes.
I want to celebrate all of us.
Yes.
That we are having so much fun.
You're alive and
We're
you're healthy.
alive and we're in Vegas and we're eating at this great restaurant and we're going to have cake.
That is so sweet.
And what was really fun, too, was like, after you have dinner and you're kind of full and you're making yourself eat a piece of cake, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then John walked back to our room because we had more than half a cake left over. And luckily in this room, you have a full-size refrigerator.
Oh.
So this is a cream and strawberry cream cake.
Oh, that's totally your favorite.
Yes. So he went upstairs. He walked all the way back to the Vidara and put it in the refrigerator and met us back at the Aria. And anyway, it was pretty funny because Mike, who was the husband of Deb's, it's like midnight now, I think. Well, now you're kind of getting a little bit hungry,
Yes.
They'd been drinking, smoking cigars, and I'd gambled a little bit, and stuff. And he goes, I want cake. And I go, you do? He goes, yep, I want cake. Let's go to your room. Let's go have cake. I said, okay. So it's super fun. 12:30 at night. We're all trumping up to our room.
Oh my gosh.
We take out the cake and we're all gorging on cake again.
I love that.
So I thought it was great.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
And then you guys aren't wasting the cake.
Exactly.
You can't fly home with it.
No, you can't.
That is
fly
so
home.
cute. I love that. And it's like 12:30 at night eating cake. Like,
yeah.
I can't think of something better.
Anyway, so
Oh,
we
that's so
do
sweet.
have a lot of gift giving.
Yeah.
Throughout our relationship, I will say
For sure.
a lot of it. And I think with my husband, that's how he shows his love.
Yeah.
Well,
and you know what? Okay, so
they didn't have a gift giving. They didn't have that one.
no, it was gift
it was just a
receiving.
receive.
Yeah. But I think let's categorize it in the
Yeah.
same because I think that for somebody that's love language isn't gift receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Receiving gifts is what they say.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't work. So I am very apt right now, even though John has not taken the quiz, the 32-question quiz. I bet you his is that too.
I bet it
And
is,
do you think
too.
that John wouldn't mind sitting down and doing it?
No, he would probably do it.
I would be so
Yeah,
curious.
okay.
I think that would be really fun.
Okay.
Because I actually, this morning, knowing that we were going to film today
Yeah.
and just chat about the love languages, I wanted Steve to do the quiz.
Yes.
So he also was quality time, and it was by 30%.
30%.
So of course, we don't know what the other ones were, and there could have been something really close, like, and 29%.
Yeah.
But the fact that Steve and I were both quality
the
time.
same.
Yes. Really was shocking, but also made sense. Because we both love just hanging out together.
I was just going to say, it just means you both enjoy each other's company.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And having that quality time together.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I noticed, like, almost all of our questions, we answered the same. There was a few of them. There was like 5 of them we didn't answer the same, and it totally makes sense because I am a very communicative person, where Steve is not very communicative.
Yes.
So it was like when the question referred to things like when your partner listens and understands you.
Okay.
So important to me because I'm a talker, and I need for people to understand how I feel.
Right.
And why I did something or why I'm saying something. Where Steve, not a big deal.
Right.
Like, that's not
Right.
a care of his. So in those situations, on those types of questions, he answered absolutely the opposite. But there was enough where he, was the same love language as me, which is quality time.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I will have John do it. See what he comes up with. It'll be interesting to see.
yeah, because I swear to you, I will bet money me that John
gets
is
that, too.
receiving gifts too.
But it's, receiving gifts. So I'm hoping that's in the same category. Because I don't want to sound like I'm, like you said, like selfish.
Yes.
To be, that I just want to receive gifts. That's not it at all. I
No.
don't. But I appreciate a gift
Yes.
when you feel that you were thought of,
Yeah.
I think, is what it is.
It's so true.
And it doesn't have to be an expensive
No.
gift. It could have been I know one of the questions, like if he went out of town, if he sent you a card from out of town, it's
Yes.
like postmarked from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That is a thought to
Yeah.
me that is super special.
Totally.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like
It's
Louis
not-
Vuitton purse.
No,
or
I don't need anything
Jimmy
like
Choo
that.
shoes. Like,
No.
we're talking
Well,
like-
I would like them, but no.
Right? Yeah. Send them our way, Jimmy Choo, if you're listening. But
Yeah,
like
that was
even
pretty-
just our favorite
pretty
seed
interesting.
candy.
Yes, yeah.
Seed candy. Steve will do that a lot,
Yes,
and he
yes.
knows I love flowers, so he'll get me flowers, like all those things.
Right.
And they're all cheap. Like, it doesn't mean you're a gold digger.
No,
It just means that you know they thought about
Yeah.
you. And I mean, they could say whatever they want to say. I mean, it's easy just to say, "Oh, I missed you while I was gone."
those
you
are
know?
words.
Yeah, but if they like literally bought you a little trinket, like
See, that's how
it says
I
a
feel.
lot more.
Because I don't know about you, but I think I've also been in relationships where they are just words.
Yes.
They don't mean anything.
Totally.
So to me, when they have thought about you and put thought into
Yeah.
a little something, like how thoughtful,
Totally.
And,
I think,
so that's what I like receiving.
Yes, and too, like, like I was saying, Steve's not a huge communicator. Like, so I think it's easier for him to do a little something, a little
Same
gift.
with John.
Because I know when he hands me a cute little something that he, saw when he was out and about, or if he went away for the weekend with one of his buddies and he brings me back a cinnamon roll or something, like,
Right.
to me, that's like saying, I love you.
I thought of you.
Yeah.
And I love you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to.
And you don't even have to
give
say
me
it.
something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He just
I
gives it to
agree.
me, and I know all the things that are
Yeah.
tied up in that,
Yeah.
$8 gift.
Yes.
I
agree.
So
Yeah.
anyhow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It
Yeah,
was fun.
we had fun.
Yes, we did.
Anyways, like I said, I'll put the quiz link in the episode description so you guys can take the quiz yourself and find out what your love language is. And if you guys want to message us,
Yeah.
we would love to hear what you guys.
What your percentages
Yeah,
are.
yeah. What you guys
Yeah.
find out is your love language. And
Yep.
so, yeah, please let us
Sounds good.
know. I'm so curious.
Yep.
Anyways, we
Anyway.
hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We went
Yes.
a little long, so
We
we'll
did.
just
We're gonna
cut
wrap
it
it
up
up
and we'll say
and
goodbye.
Say goodbye and catch you on the next one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.